Hi, this is Mary Conley Eggert again, founder of Global Waterworks with Wayne Carmichael, who's the leader in toxic cyanobacteria research and helping spread the word on the opportunity to actually extend our monitoring efforts into treatment with new technologies available. And we're going to just take a brief tour of the Collaboration to Remediate HABS website that is part of the Global Waterworks community. And you can read about it here. You can find it just by joining globalwaterworks.org. And you can see it's group 6285881, or just when you come into the community, you can simply research and see that through a simple search in the search bar that you can get to this community. So HABS remediation. And here we are, we're looking at the topics in the community, news about HABS, regulatory insights, success stories you might want to learn about, and also the tools and technologies. The EPA and many organizations have been very involved, the Great Lakes Research, in putting together tools and technology, and also strategies to map our waterways and keep track of the progress on them, which really creates the opportunity for us to be here, Wayne, because 40% of our nation's waterways, the EPA has said, are compromised and in need of support. So the community, for all of you who are in here, if you just go to Simple Discovery, you will see Wayne's article right here on Just in Time for Earth Day, an approach to kick this toxic HABS habit. And Wayne, if you could just comment on your current thinking and what people should take away from this community, we'd love to hear it.
Well, I think this type of an example is my attempt to try and bring together roughly 50 years of understanding cyanoHABS, through monitoring and management, and some efforts at mitigation and detection, and to refocus it on how we actually might prevent them. And so I think what I would like people to see through this article is a little background information on how we've come to this point, some of the other sort of areas that you might go to look and get more information, but it's really an attempt to present in an understandable, more direct way exactly what the issue is, why it's important for water quality and human health and animal health and environmental health, and what we might do about it.
Right. And Wayne, you've done an excellent job in providing education and also publications and textbooks for the industry. We particularly love this one-day workshop for people who are new to the topic to understand how to identify and respond to cyanobacteria. And this was put together by the Office of Information Management and Analysis at the State Water Resources Control Board in California. So very, very helpful information. Anyone can go into this simple YouTube directory and in 5 hours be sort of immersed as if you were in one of Wayne's programs. And that's one of our goals here, to make sure that Wayne isn't exhausted, but that we can extend his knowledge to the whole industry. And what's beautiful, as Wayne mentioned, is that others in the industry, like individuals with the Society for Environmental Journalists, have actually put together details to understand HABS. And this piece by Tom Henry is very exhaustive in helping people understand the impact from Lake Erie to our general, our whole nation across the coast on metro areas, coastal areas, and 30 years or so of continued eutrophication as a result of nutrients has created quite an opportunity for people to learn to address harmful algae blooms and hopefully clear up our waterways. But all of these resources are combined in here in the Global Waterworks Collaborate to Remediate HABS, as well as experts from the EPA like A.R. Katabi, and from the environment. Here we have Stephanie Smith from the Great Lakes of Africa. and also having worked in the Great Lakes of Americas, able to lend insights. You can find members who are near you when you go into the community. The view will shift. You can find those who are newest. You can meet the hosts. As you heard, Wayne is actually involved in hosting, as is Dave Shackleton, who's founded CysBio, providing a very effective solution for harmful algae blooms. And you can also browse topics, as I mentioned earlier, and find events that you would like to attend. We try to keep the industry events in here. But Wayne, the topic of collaboration, you mentioned earlier how you brought together folks from Australia, Poland, the whole world has this challenge. What would you like people to take away from the concept of our having a group where we can all share this knowledge and the importance of collaboration based on your prior experience?
Well, I think the thing I like about the Global Waterworks in general and this HABS collaborative is it sort of brings together the background information that has been accumulated over many years and decades, and it kind of presents it to the general population in a little more user-friendly fashion. And you sort of pick and choose. You can get the superficial problem, or you can go in depth to the workshop events, which are fairly scientifically presented, but hopefully visually presented enough that they make sense. So I think what I would like to see is that obviously this is used more, that people actually go and use this, but then use the information to make sensible, understandable suggestions within their own community, whether they're a local group or a state group or a national group, to affect the kinds of changes that I think are so important if we're going to get back to clean water, which of course is what it's all about. If we don't, we're going to continue to sort of have to deal with cleaning it up and applying technology to problems that could have been removed. And so I think that's what I would like to see the HABS collaborative help people with in a significant way.
Yes, well, we couldn't agree more. And anyone who's an expert who has resources to share is welcome to come in and actually post or share their article or their event that they have that can help others eradicate HABs. And also, if they hear of news or regulatory insights that the rest of the industry should know about, we invite people. This is a global effort and not one that any of us can do alone, but it wouldn't be possible without the efforts of Wayne and Dave and those in the community with the EPA. And what's beautiful is when you do join the community, you do get access to the whole Global Waterworks community, which includes more than 2,000 experts around the globe working on all aspects of the water system, as well as focused journeys to become a water ambassador, to increase productivity, to provide peace through water projects, and also to support individual groups or niche areas. And one area that's very interesting for those involved with eradicating HABs is Friends of the River Wye, group of individuals who want to clear up that river and the water systems have put together a special group, which you are all welcome to do if you have a specific river or waterway that you'd like to clean up and have a sufficient interest. It helps to be able to store the information on your activities in a focus group that the members can come together in and share their updates and comment on specific topics available to them, or even add to discussions. But there's no end to what we can do with these groups, and it really is a community that is what you make of it. So Wayne, we really appreciate your participation and look forward to seeing you both at these conferences coming up, and as we celebrate 50 years of the Clean Water Act, putting us on a trajectory that truly does clean up our waterways and take advantage of your knowledge and the technology available today, which is a key focus of the Global Waterworks community, to accelerate the advancement of technology and ensure that water works for all and everyone can find the experts, the organizations, and the solutions that make water work. So any final comments, Wayne?
No, thank you, Mary, and thank you, Global Waterworks. I think, I don't know that I'll be back in the next 50 years to revisit this, but hopefully, hopefully by then we will have significantly made a improvement to our water supplies.
Yes, well, for at least the next 5 years. And we understand you're also cleaning up a waterway there in Oregon. Can you just tell us about that?
Oh, well, yes, my bucket list for retirement is that we fortunately obtained 140 acres of coastal forest and river frontage in Oregon on a salmon river, which we have obtained funds from National Oceanographic Administration to restore salmon and lamprey and elk and deer habitat on our property. That's one of the larger projects on this river drainage, which is a fairly small river, 120 miles, but it directly impacts the salmon and of course the local environment in this river valley. And while it's fairly clean, it's not necessarily polluted or nutrient enriched. All of the agriculture activity over 100+ years has actually diminished all of the salmon habitat, or at least much of the salmon habitat, so that they no longer have the usual places of off migration off the river or in the river to spawn. And so what the problem is to restore some of these off-river habitats so that they do support the either overwintering of salmon fry and of various kinds, coho, chinook, et cetera, and lamprey, which are important to the more to the native populations than to the existing ones, although I think we all need to appreciate that lamprey are animals too, and actually are very good to eat, according to Native Americans. So it's all part of restoring a sort of a semblance of the natural environment, such as existed 100 years ago, which is very much like what we're attempting to do with the HABS initiatives, and that is to restore lakes and ponds and reservoirs and to some semblance of their more natural state, which is a more inclusive one for all life forms.
Yes, well, you mentioned at the start of our talks that the integration and collaboration around the world to have everyone acknowledge the role of toxic cyanobacteria and our opportunity to address it was important to you. But I think what you're talking about now is just such a great example of how great leaders know the way, they show the way, and they go the way. So providing a legacy and just a application of what you've learned is such a beautiful story. So Wayne, just you're an authentic, just really great participant in our community. We just hope that river doesn't take you so far away from the digital and online that we'll have to send someone out to sort of track you to get those stories.
Well, it is all water. Maybe in 5 years, I'll come back and be able to show you a great example of stream restoration and mitigation, and the ability to bring back it's all part of, there's an emphasis to move away from salmon hatcheries to creating habitat that once existed for salmon spawning. That's where it's really coming from. So that's why NOAA's involved, even though NOAA is supposedly oceanographic. They are the ones, because salmon are migratory, that's where the link is to freshwater and something that's reasonably removed from the ocean.
Well, what a great story and an endeavor that you have ahead of you. So thank you for your contributions to the community. We look forward to seeing you here, and we invite everyone to chime in, spread the word. We can solve our global water challenges. The technology exists. It's really a matter of engaging the people and helping to inspire the change, which you have certainly done here, Wayne. So thank you, and we'll see you in the community.
Thank you. Bye now.